I don't know whether to say first, I'm a proud Rotarian, or thank you very much for this contribution, fellow Rotarians. We've had a wonderful partnership with the Rotary Club, and my husband's been a member since we were married, and I joined several years ago. And I invite all of you that are not Rotarians to think about joining this organization. It's awesome. Thank you.
You have supported us for many years. My husband used to be a member of here, and I've enjoyed every experience. And certainly the funds that you give to us does provide the gift of knowledge. That was part of our slogan for our recent golf tournament, that it is a gift. It certainly is a gift to sit across the table from someone who walks like we do and talk like we do, but may not be able to recognize words. And whenever they can do that, it's astounding, the faith it has on the heart. And thank you, Rotarians, for your good works.
I think this is my second year being a Rotarian getting this award, and it's really, if you haven't ever considered joining Rotary, it is fun. There's a lot of good people, so we would love for you to consider this. This money actually goes to things that grant funds won't pay for. It could be anything from changing door locks to getting a rabies shot for an animal that comes into the shelter with its owner. So it is very appreciated, and I thank you for your support.
But you guys know what the Boy Scouts do. They mold young men. I think last year the Cape Fear Council had the largest Eagle Scout class that they've ever had. Camp Bowers is just booming over there in Bladen County, and has received several awards. The council has received several awards for the things that they do. So 98% of the money raised by the Scouts stays in this area. It stays in Bladen, and this will stay in Bladen and Columbus County. So the Boy Scouts thanks you.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Girl Scouts, we thank you so much for the donation. Girl Scouts is so much more than selling cookies. We're in the process of a new marketing campaign where we are talking about building girls who are GIRLs, go-getters, innovators, risk takers, and leaders. And it's a really neat thing to be able to be a part of. We have about 100 girls right now in Columbus County that are in Girl Scouts. And in addition to those girls, we also do outreach for about 100 girls every year, where we go into areas and give them the Girl Scout program. And this money will help to pay for the memberships for those girls. And for any girl in Columbus County that wants to join Girl Scouts, we don't ever want money to be a barrier. So the money that we raise goes towards providing scholarships for the girls. So thank you very much on behalf of Girl Scouts, and thanks.
I would like to thank you guys on behalf of the Columbus County Dream Center for this award. This award will help to fund our after school, basically this will fund our summer enrichment program, which began this week. So we have had one very full week of activity with about 30 some very, very active, very active young people ranging from the age of 5 to 13. If you guys are bored and you want to do something, we invite you to come by, volunteer some time, and help some of our kids. We are also partnering with Girl Scouts of America, and they did a presentation with our girls this week. And when Chris was talking, I thought about a situation that happened earlier in the week. One of our little girls went up to one of the little boys and she said, "Well, I can't beat you up now because I'm a Girl Scout." But we invite you to come by, and this money will certainly help us with our summer program. Thank you so much for your continued support.
Thank you so much for this donation. This year marks 30 years for North Carolina Wildlife Action. 30 years. It's 40 years for our national headquarters, for our national organization. So we are plugging right along, and we just would love for you to come out and see Helms Nature Preserve and see what we've done so far, and come out and have a meeting like sometimes you usually do, and have supper. We'd love for you to walk around. We had a lot of things that got messed up during the Hurricane Matthew, but we managed to get the bridges rebuilt and all the things that we needed to before camp. So right now it looks good. We've got a little bit more to do. We're getting ready to start again on our barracks. The weather messed us up with that. But thank you for this. We will definitely put it to good use. So much for this award. This will be put to continuing growing our program in Columbus County. It'll stay right here in our county, helping individuals who want to come out of poverty and not continue to be living off the system. Our greatest changes that we see are families with children, and the biggest changes, I think Carol can attest to this, are in the children. So it's the future of our county. Thank you.
This camp is for kindergarten through rising 6th graders, and it's going to be held at Edgewood Elementary School. It is a STEM camp which focuses on science, technology, engineering, and math. We're really excited to bring this program to Whiteville this year, and we hope that it will continue to grow over the next few years. So thank you very much for your support.
Matthew 25 Center Board of Directors, especially thanks to the Whiteville Rotary Club. We have been working 9 years on this project. We have set a groundbreaking date for August the 20th. It is going to become a reality, and it applies to the inmates at Columbus Correctional and at Robinson Correctional and other institutions that will use it, as well as TCI. With us tonight we have two individuals. Shep Oliver is a member of the Fairmont Rotary Club, and most of y'all have heard her tell of Joyce. Joyce Mahler is known as Habitat for Humanity in Columbus County. So thanks again and appreciate your support.
We are a food bank ministry, and the 4 churches that he mentioned began this a little over 5 years ago. We operate out of the Baptist Church, and just in the last year and a half, David, I believe the Boys and Girls Home came on board. It's a win-win situation for us because they want their kids to be involved and give back to the community. And this is an excellent way for them to do it, and it helps us because one of the things you have to have, as every one of you in here know, you got to have people. You got to have volunteers. And they have really been a tremendous help to our food bank ministry. We are currently assisting on an average of 200 families every time we have a distribution, and we distribute twice a month. So it's a big challenge, but we've got a lot of dedicated people. We've had a lot of support, and we certainly appreciate the support of the Rotary tonight. Thank you very much.
I don't know where to start. It's very nice to be invited to a function like this, and I just hope I can live up to it. Last Saturday I had the honor to do number 500 stone. 500 stone. But anyway, they should be very proud to be an American citizenship. And all the veterans that have paid the price. And the families, you got to think about the families too, left back home, mom and the children. They suffered also a different way, but it's just been super. The friendship and the donations, it's just been outstanding. I never thought I set my goal for 25 in 2003. I never thought I'd get 501 by no means, but I appreciate it, and thank y'all for everything.
I am really humbled to be in this company and included with all of these wonderful organizations, volunteers, so many of you, and it's very humbling to be in this group. And for Living Hope, I can say we will do our utmost to prove worthy of the confidence you've placed in our ministry. Thank you.
Thank you, Whiteville Rotarians. Since this is a garden project, this is literally seed money. I appreciate it. The garden is going to be helping children who are not just overweight, but children who are depressed, children who are autistic, children who are anxious, children who don't get a chance to eat healthy, children who don't get a chance to learn how to cook and eat with their families. So it's a project I'm initiating as a pediatrician in Whiteville, but it's really going towards creating wholesome children. So I really thank you for this. And I was so impressed, Kevin, that so many of the award recipients are Rotarians that I'd like to tell you, I'd like to receive this again next year as a Rotarian.
I'd like to thank you all for inviting us again this year. We really do appreciate it. And the grants, awards, and donations that we get every year go 100% to the animals. We go to PetSmart every Saturday with a load in our new van that was just donated by Top Tobacco. And also, we have spayed and neutered 1,305 cats and dogs. So
Maybe a few in the room old enough to remember the early 50s when polio was such a dread disease all across the world. There are still legacy people of that in the world known as crawlers who have no other way to get around except to crawl with their arms to everywhere they go. There are people paralyzed without wheelchairs. There's still a lot of corners in the world, well, a few corners in the world, where our efforts to immunize children against polio cannot reach due to conflict or tribal suspicions or all of those. But where we were having literally thousands of infections a day, we're proud to announce in the past year, if I've got the number right, I think they identified less than 5 cases of polio in the world. Rotary has raised and managed and spent with other agencies the $1.2 billion that he mentioned, and we're that close to eradication in the world, but we can't stop because we have another generation that has to be immunized or this thing will just grow back again. So Rotary continues its efforts. Any contribution that is made throughout the world, and we're pikers compared to what a lot of places in the world do. They write $100 million checks, governments feed into it. People are most generous in that. So for this Rotary Club, generosity on the behalf of Rotary International, I thank Whiteville for what they've done.
My staff and I thank the Rotary Club for supporting our patients and transportation needs. And we also want to thank Kay. She is one of our volunteers at the Cancer Center, and she's a fabulous lady. But our Cancer Center here in Columbus County is part of a larger organization called Levine Cancer Institute, which is out of Charlotte. And the motto for Levine Cancer Institute is Cancer Care Without Walls. What that means is if a patient is diagnosed with cancer, they should be treated at home and not have to travel to a big city. But even living in home, we still have patients that have issues with transportation. So this money will be going to help with those patients to be able to get to our center, to be able to get treatments that they need. And again, we all thank you so much for everything that you're doing for this community.
I'm going to recruit him to be an ambassador. He just doesn't know it yet. We're excited about having you as a scholarship recipient at Southeastern. I briefly met him at the awards program, and I could tell immediately, you're going to be a great Rotarian one day. He smiles. He reminds me of a young Butch Blanchard. So I told Butch that earlier. No, we're excited about this scholarship. This means a lot to our students. I know it means a lot to Tanner, and it's making a difference in students' lives in Columbus County. So thank you for doing this for him.
I'll speak a little bit. For ones who don't know me, I am the son of Joy and Deanne Bullard. I plan to attend Southeastern Community College for 2 years, then transfer to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke and major in biology with a minor in physical education, and hopefully be back here at Whiteville to teach.
I just want to say thank you for the scholarship. It's going to help me and my parents out a lot with me going to state, so thank you.
The last award goes to the Whiteville High School Rotary Scholarship. Academic excellence is a hallmark of this year's recipient. The Whiteville Rotary Club is proud to present this award to Logan Hester. Logan is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Donald Hester and the grandson of our own Nick and Shirley Logan. Logan will be attending NC State in the fall. Here to accept this year's award is Logan Hester.
Thank you guys a lot for selecting me for this scholarship. It's truly an honor, especially having as much family as I do in here. And wish Papa could be here tonight, but they're off in Hawaii, so we don't need them. But thank you. It means a lot to me, and it really helps out me and my family. So thank you all.
I want to tell you how much I appreciate what you do. Most of it you don't get paid for. But this is my 60th year in the school business. I'm still active, and I know what you all do to help children to develop a solid base so that we can work with them in schools. I really do appreciate what you're doing. Also, you need to consider joining the Rotary Club. You can see what we've got going. Old people like me don't do much anymore, so they come and eat and burp and go home. But we've got a young group of people here now that are very active, and they really and truly are making a difference in Whiteville. So we invite you to come by. And if you can't pay your dues the first month, we'll get together and we'll pay the first one for you or something. But thank you for coming by, and thank you for what you do for Whiteville.
Very well said.
This concludes the award presentation for tonight. Let's give a round of applause to all the recipients of this year's awards.
We've done service projects throughout the year. I think Butch did a calculation on it. I think the other service projects we've done throughout the year have come up to about $5,300, including the other things we've done outside of service projects. I think we have done about $15,000 back into the community. But tonight is far and away the best night of the Rotary year.